The NFL season, um, well, at the time of this recording, is about to start. Within a couple of hours. It's doing this on a Thursday. The Thursday opening game is just a couple hours away. So let me do my NFL season predictions. So let's start in the AFC East. The New England Patriots. It's obvious that they're going to win the division. I mean, they've won the division forever, it seems like. Basically, almost, since forever at this point. 14-2 on the season. They usually struggle in September, and then they figure it out, and by the time December comes around, they're the best team in the league, and they'll be playing for a Super Bowl in February. 14-2. Second in the division will be the New York Jets. I have them going 8-8. They've made some moves, and it's going to be interesting to see how Sam Darnold develops. But I don't see the Jets as they'll win some games. They'll be a tough out, but I still just see them as mediocre for now. I don't. They could possibly make a push maybe for a wild card spot, but I don't. Obviously, they're not going to compete for the division with the Patriots, and they're just going to be mediocre in my opinion. Third in the division will be the Buffalo Bills. They'll be 6-10. I see them in the same area as the Jets, but they might be just a little bit worse. They're not. I don't think they're as good as the Jets. I see them going 6-10. They're mediocre. They're another team that's going to be probably a difficult out to get, but they're not gonna compete for a playoff spot in my opinion. And fourth in the division, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they are looking to tank for either Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert or somebody, or just some new player, because they've gotten rid of Laremy Tunsil, they've gotten rid of Kenny Stills, Kiko Alonso, guys who have been part of the Dolphins the last couple of years, and obviously it's not going to work out, and they're not going to be good. Granted, they do have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen. Fitzpatrick, for some reason, likes to go off every once in a while, throw for like 400 yards and 6 touchdowns a game. You'll probably get those games, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to win a lot. They're going to go 2-14. The AFC South, I have the Texans winning the division. Now the South is wide open with the Andrew Luck retirement. It is wide open. I see the Texans winning it. A concern I had at the start of the season was their offensive line, but they acquired Laremy Tunsil. I have them going 11-5. It's going to be a real tight division. I have the Texans coming out with the division win. Second in the division will be the Colts, 10-6. They have a good team. It's just the concerns about Jacoby Brissett. They have a great team. They have a good defense with Darius Leonard. They have a good offensive line with Quentin Nelson. They have a good team. It's just how is Jacoby Brissett going to perform? That's the big question. I think that they'll be good enough to be 10-6. When I was originally doing the rough draft before Andrew Luck's retirement was announced, I had them winning like 12 games. I have them going 10-6 now just because of the uncertainty of Jacoby Brissett. But I mean, he did well when he had to play that entire season that Andrew Luck was hurt. So that's why, the team around him was just bad. That's why the Colts weren't good that season. So I think that they'll be fine with Jacoby Brissett. They'll win some games and they'll compete. Third in division, Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans do not look good. Watching one of their preseason games against the Steelers, that was the third game, which is always the one you should actually pay attention to. Granted, they didn't have all the starters out there, and you shouldn't take preseason games too seriously, but what I saw when most of the starters were out there, they did not look good at all. I have them going 8-8. It seems like they're ready to move on from Marcus Mariota. This is his time to prove something. I mean, I think it's already too late. We're probably going to see Ryan Tannehill at some point this season. I have them going 8-8. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars, they'll be last in the division, but they're gonna compete. I have them going 7-9 on the season. They're not going to be bad. They brought in Nick Foles and they have a pretty good defense. They'll be fine. They'll compete, but I have them going 7-9 in their division. The In the AFC North, I have the Browns winning their division for the first time in like forever at this point. I have them going 10-6. The AFC North will be a very competitive division, where you can have really the Ravens, Browns, and Steelers could all somehow, possibly win the division. They can all somehow, they can all They can all possibly win the division. They also have the possibility. They can all somehow make it to the playoffs. They're all really good teams with the exception of the Bengals. I have the Browns going 10-6. They made some moves in the offseason. They seem to have a lot of hype. They seem to have a lot of confidence. I have them going 10-6. Second in the division, the Baltimore Ravens. I have them going 9-7. I don't. Lamar Jackson and how he progresses will dictate how good the Ravens will be. They have a good defense, but how Lamar Jackson plays is going to play a big factor in how they do in general. They're going to be a run-heavy team probably, but it's going to be interesting to see if Lamar Jackson can make the throws when he needs to. So 9-7 for the Ravens. Pittsburgh Steelers, I have them going 8-8. They're going to be a competitive team. They can possibly make the playoffs. I just have them going 8-8. There's a possibility they can sneak in. I understand that people are saying that no one believes in the Steelers and that nobody's talking about them. But the truth is that people are talking about them and some people still believe in them. And so they're trying to turn this around saying, oh, nobody believes in us and use that as a motivational factor. I don't believe any of that. I have them going 8-8. And fourth in division, the Cincinnati Bengals, 3-13. They're going to suck. They are not a good team. They have some injuries with Andy Dalton and AJ Green. They're not going to be a good team. AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs, I have them going 12-4. Interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes does this season, following up that great season. Obviously, he's not going to have the same season, but I think he'll still be good. Second, the Los Angeles Chargers, 11-5. They have some injuries. Derwin James is going to miss a lot of the season, but I think they'll be fine. Melvin Gordon's holding out. I think they'll be fine running back wise. Third in the division, the Denver Broncos. I like Vic Fangio as their coach. They're going to have a great defense, but offensively, I am not sure about this team. I am going 4-12. And last in the division, the Oakland Raiders, 2-14. Now, this is more of just kind of, this is how things ended up. I don't think they'll lose this many games. They'll win a couple more games, but I don't think that they'll be in the bottom of the division. I don't think they're gonna end up winning it or anything. I don't think they'll make the playoffs either. Now let's go to the NFC. In the NFC East, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. I have them going 12-4. They're going to bounce back from last season. They'll be a better team. It's going to be between them and the Cowboys for the NFC East. They'll go 12-4. They have a good team. It's going to be interesting to see how Carson Wentz does now that he's probably back and healthy. So I have them going 12-4. The Cowboys, they'll go 11-5. Great defense. Zeke is coming back. He got his contract. They have Amari Cooper. I don't know about Dak, but they have a good enough defense that they'll make Dak look good. Third in division, the Washington Redskins, 2-14. They are not going to be a good football team, and neither the New York Giants. They'll be 2-14 as well. More of just how things ended up, and not probably what their actual record is going to be. But who knows? They'll be close to 2 to 3 wins though. NFC South. I have the Saints going 13-3. They have a great team. They have Drew Brees. They have Alvin Kamara. They have Michael Thomas. They have a good defense. They're going to go 13-3. They're going to make the playoffs. I think that's obvious. Second in the division will be the Carolina Panthers. I have them going 9-7. They were a good team until Cam Newton got hurt late last season. And they ended up struggling. But I think that they'll have a good season. They could possibly have a wild card spot. 9-7. The Atlanta Falcons, 8-8. They're a good team. They had a lot of injuries last year, which is why they missed out on the playoffs. They'll be 8-8. It's a pretty tough division. So but I see them floating around 8 to 10 wins. Um, After getting a bunch of players back because they were injured. Fourth in division, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I know they have Bruce Arians. They're probably going to win more games than I have them projected to win, because he's just a guy that gets you to. He's a winner. He gets his teams. He makes them competitive and they win. But I have them going 2-14. But they'll be better than this. NFC North, I have the Bears winning the division. They'll go 13-3. Though they have a good defense. Interesting to see how Mitchell Trubisky is going to perform this season. Their running game is going to be interesting, but they're going to win the division. Second, the Green Bay Packers, 8-8. They might win more games, but I don't know how many games Aaron Rodgers can carry them. But they're going to float around 9-8 wins. Third, the Minnesota Vikings, good defense. It's going to be interesting to see what Kirk Cousins does this year. I guess you could say there's question marks offensively. Just I in general have questions about what they can do offensively. I see them split around 6-10. Lions, same thing, 6-10. I don't know anything about the Lions. They don't seem like a team that's going to do anything this season. So I see them going 6-10. NFC West, my 49ers, I'm going to say they're going to win all the games. Second in division will be the Rams. They'll go 12-4. Seahawks 10-6. Cardinals 1-15. I don't see the Cardinals winning a lot of games, even with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. I don't see them winning any games. I think this is going to be a pretty tough division this year. The 49ers are here to compete. They made the moves to get the defense. The Rams, they are coming back off of their Super Bowl loss. They're interested in competing. They want to go back to that, and Seattle is, they're still a good team. So the NFC West is going to be a very competitive division this season. As for what I have going on in the playoffs this season, in the AFC, Browns versus Chargers. I have the Chargers winning that game. Colts versus Texans. I have the Texans winning that game. So that would be, one of a couple of the AFC wildcard games and the AFC divisional round games. Chargers versus the Patriots. I have the Chargers beating the Patriots, which probably wasn't going to happen, but hey, it's my predictions. Texans versus Chiefs. I have the Chiefs winning. Chargers versus Chiefs AFC Championship game. I have the Chargers winning. NFC Rams, Eagles. I have the Rams beating the Eagles. Cowboys, Bears. I have the Bears beating the Cowboys. Rams versus 49ers, because remember I said they were going to go undefeated. And one day it will happen. I have the 49ers winning. Bears versus Saints. I have the Saints winning. Saints versus 49ers NFC Championship game. I have the 49ers winning. 49ers versus Chargers in the Super Bowl. I have the 49ers winning. What did you expect? I'm going to support my team all the way, even if it makes my predictions sound very biased, unrealistic, and delusional. I'm going to say whatever I want. And that is my NFL season predictions.